What's up guys, JTM Off-Road here. Today's video, we're finally starting the lift on the Avalanche. So if this is the first time coming to the channel and you're seeing this video and you're seeing this build, little background information. Rough Country sent me a 6-inch lift for my truck. This is my 2004 Avalanche Z71. Has some rust on it, has 150,000 miles. It's my tow rig for my Jeep. Not like the best tow rig. That's probably not the first thing you would want to think of when you want to have a tow rig. It's got the 5.3 in it. It's got coil rear suspension. It works for what I want it to do, and you know, it's paid off. It's kind of just going to be my vehicle that I'm going to probably run into the ground. After doing the videos on the Jeep, doing the spring replacement on my Jeep and everything, Rough Country decided they wanted to send me a lift for my truck, and I say it over and over again. I'm just blown away that they were so kind enough to do that for me. So I'm doing a few videos on it. This isn't going to be how-to. They have a really awesome how-to video on how to do this that I've watched probably 10 times so far, and I'm probably going to watch it another 10 times at least while doing this. So, like I said, not a how-to video. This is me working on stuff in my garage. This is, just what I do for fun. So, anyway, we're doing this 6-inch lift. We're putting it on 35-inch tires. I have 35-inch Mickey Thompson tires that I bought off a friend for a pretty good deal. And I got Raceline Defender 935G wheels that look amazing. These are the wheels. They're 17 by 9-inch wheel with about 4.5-inch back spacing on them. Center cap for them. They look real nice. Real nice. My buddy over at Innovative Auto Works helped me out with these. Got some new black lug nuts for those. Those are going to look real nice. Oh yeah, and Rough Country hooked me up with this sick banner. Look how it's so big. It covers up a whole bunch of my mess back there. But it's kind of hard to find a space big enough. It's like an 8-foot banner, but it worked out perfect up there. It looks real good. Other things you might not know, tuning in for the first time. The truck has 373 gears in it right now, stock. They've been okay for now, but I'm definitely have to go to a bigger gear with the 35s, especially with towing also. Past videos, I parted out a couple Avalanches that I got a deal on from my wife's cousin. I got them both really cheap. I've been parting them out, actually using the money to fund this build, and it's been working out great so far. So the other thing that was included in the deal was I got new rocker material for these, and they're not just slip-on covers, they're the actual inner and outer rockers. So don't mind the really nasty looking cover-ups that are on here right now. For the most part, you can't see them too much because they're so low, but once this is lifted up, you're probably going to see them a little more, unfortunately. So hopefully that'll be more motivation to get those rockers done sooner. As for the axles, in one of the trucks, it came with stock 410 gears. So I pulled the axles from that truck, and I'm going to be putting them in this truck. One of my past videos was spent getting this axle all prepped. It was unbelievably rusty. It had so much crust on it, so much pitting and everything. I spent probably 8 to 10 hours just needle scaling alone to get all the rust off. Used flap discs and wire wheel to clean it up, and we got it cleaned up really good. I think it looks great. Probably going to be one of the nicest looking things on the truck, aside from obviously the new Rough Country lift that I'm getting. I didn't do too much to the front diff. That's aluminum. It's going to be covered up by skid plates. I didn't feel like it was worth the time cleaning up and making look nice. So the nice thing is this is already out, so we can start working on this. One of the things you have to do is cut this bracket off. So one of the nice things is while this is out already, I can cut the bracket that needs to be cut off. It's either this one or the one underneath, and I'm gonna have to double check before I do that, definitely. But while it's out right now, I can do this if I want to right now. The way I've been timing this all out, the truck it's getting dry. It's been sitting out all night in the rain, and I didn't want to have this sitting inside while this paint was drying overnight. So I thought it'd be a better idea to keep that outside. So now that it's in, I've been running the fans, running the heater. Once I stop the video, I'll turn all that stuff back on. But just want to give you an idea of what the truck looks like before we do any of the lifting. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and measure some of this just to see before and after effect. So there we've got about 37 inches. Rear passenger side, we've got about 37 3/8 or so. Front right, we got about 35 3/4. Front left, we got about 35.5 or so. You know, the difference between left and right and then front and back, they're pretty similar. You know, obviously the front's a little lower than the rear. But, you know, it could be maybe the tire pressures or something a little off. You know, things wearing out and whatnot. So they're pretty close. They're ballpark. It's going to be a big difference in the end after we lift it. So you'll notice the big change there. This is definitely much more complicated than a Jeep, being solid axles. You know, my Jeep, I have a YJ. It's just leaf springs front and rear. So super easy to lift, no issues. This has potential for more issues, and I was reading the comments on the Rough Country lift how-to video, and like every single comment was like, nope, taking this to a shop, not doing this myself, taking it somewhere. All generally the same kind of comment. I'd like to say I have some mechanical abilities. I'm not a mechanic. I just do stuff for fun on the weekend and whatnot. So this is definitely probably going to be a challenge, mainly because of all the rust and everything. If it's just unbolting and bolting, that's not a big deal, but running into rust and issues, that's where it takes some skill to try to fix things. So we'll see. I'm probably going to run into some issues. The torsion bars are like the first thing you have to do, and that's apparently, from what everyone says, that's like the worst thing to deal with. So fingers crossed we can come up with something. I've read some tricks how to do it, so we'll see what happens. So I'm still letting this dry a little bit, so I'm gonna kind of get things jacked up, ready to go, and take it from there. I also did kind of like a box opening video. You get like 6 boxes when you get this lift, so there's a lot of components that come with it. So I had my list out here, and I've been marking stuff off. But this is all the stuff for the lift. If you want to check out my other video of me unboxing all of it, feel free to do so. We're also going to be changing inner and outer tie rods and control arms while we have everything off. You know, we're going to be taking it off. Might as well just change it out. Alrighty, well, so this is probably going to be the video for anybody who deals with salty roads, winters, terrible rustiness. This is probably what you're seeing if you're going to tackle the same thing. Good thing I got some new upper control arms. You see the bushing's pretty much shot in both places on the inner sides there. Same thing for the other side. Everything's just super rusty, so I just shot everything down with PB Blaster real good. Got inside the torsion bar location on the lower control arms. And then same thing goes for this side, just tons of PB Blaster. Looks like this side, that one, that bolt's cranked in the whole way, and down there it's cranked pretty far out. So I don't know if that's just typical of how to, you know, how it's going to settle over time, or how it's going to be, but we're gonna try, guys. I'm not feeling very confident, but we're gonna give it a shot, and wish me luck. So very first thing I do, I try to go put the torsion bar tool on, and I crank it the whole way down, and it bottoms out. Doesn't even hit the torsion key yet. So the guy was like, yeah, this is the heavier duty one, I'll just give you this one, it's even cheaper. Well, what are the chances the other one goes a little further down, not as heavy duty? Now I gotta go see if that one's any different, try to get the right one. Alright, this one goes a little further down, so not very confident with this one, just because he pulled out the other one there, and this was all twisted and bent. So hopefully mine's in better shape and not near as bad. It isn't gonna end up like that one. Well, as I expected, it's going horrible. I cannot get the keys off at all. They're so rusted on there. So I've used heat on the actual key itself, not the bar, on the key. I've used heat on the key, air hammer, hammering. I was hammering away at the key itself, trying to get it off. I was going back and forth between the lower control arm and there. Problem is, once you get over to the driver's side, at least for this Avalanche, the gas tank's pretty much like right there, and then the ABS pump is right above the torsion bar. So don't really want to put a whole lot of heat there. I was starting to heat it, and then I saw the ABS pump is like right above. I didn't want to do any damage to that. So I'm kind of at a loss right now. So pretty much, I checked with the Nearby Advanced. They're gonna have a set of new keys up here tomorrow, and if I can't get these off by then, I'm gonna have to suck it up and get new keys, which sucks because it's gonna be like 200 bucks for these. I'm sure there's probably other places that are cheaper, but I'm trying to get this done this weekend. I've taken time off. Yeah, kind of at a loss here. So I'm gonna keep going with the front. I've kind of got an idea that maybe once I get the lower control arm off, since I'm taking that off, that maybe I can get something around the front of that and then maybe hit that with a hammer, and hopefully it'll pull the bar forward out of the key. I don't know. I'm up to try anything right now just to save me some money. You know, I got to get some progress. I've spent hours on this already and I'm nowhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. Hopefully something good happens. So I figure before I do anything else, before I start taking any of this off, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do the tie rod first. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and tackle that. Get this outer tie rod off first. Try to loosen that up, and then work on the inner once I get that out. Alright, inner and outer tie rods are changed. Actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Just a little time consuming just because of the constraints there. But I'm not putting them in the whole way because I have to remove the knuckle anyway. I just wanted to get them on, so at least they were there. So got that out of the way. Now I can actually start on some of the lift stuff. So I'm just going to get right to it. I'm not going to really explain unless I'm running into some problems or something. So I'm just going to go to it and enjoy the time lapse. Alrighty guys, well I'm about done for the first night. Definitely not as much progress as I wanted to get done. I spent way too much time with the torsion bars. I still don't have them off. So I'm getting some new keys. I'm gonna cut these keys off, or try to. So that's the plan. So that'll be in the next video, getting them off, or maybe the video after. I don't know how many videos it's gonna be, but I'm definitely running into some snags. Some things are going better than I thought they would, and some things are giving me more trouble. I do have mostly everything out of here. The thing I don't have out is the upper control arm, and I'm cutting the bolts. The upper one there came out okay. This lower one definitely been having trouble with. You can see all the scratch marks from a hammer, trying to hammer at it. So I ended up cutting this right side, and I started cutting this one, and all my blades are just done. So it's about time I get some new blades. But you can see I was starting to warp the mount there a little bit from all the hammering on this this side here. All this hammering over here was pushing this out. So once I get this out, I'm probably gonna have to hammer it a little bit just to get it back into the right shape it needs to be. But I'm gonna have to figure out where to get new cam bolts. I don't know if those are readily available or not, but I marked them and everything, and it just didn't work. The pins fell out. I still have the pins, so I can put those back in, but that just did not go well. I was able to get the lower control arm off the torsion bar. I got everything else off that I needed to. You know, I didn't need to take the upper control arm off, but I figured, you know, in this far I might as well do it. So it's taking a little more time, but I think it's gonna be worth it in the end. The bushings are definitely shot. It's all galled up. Definitely need to service it. Tie rods went on fine. You know, that went good. And started working on getting the diff out. You got one of the bolts out. Got to get the upper bolt out, and then the two bolts on the side, which aren't bad. You need to cut this cross member out. And I need to go get new blades, and by the time I get new blades and get some dinner and stuff, I haven't eaten all day. By the time I get some new blades and get some food and everything, it's gonna be too late for me to do this. So I'll pick back up for the next video, but I'll get this cut out, get the differential dropped. It'll be some good progress. I still got to do the other side for the upper control arm. Got to get that one out. So definitely running into some snags. If you live in the South and you have no rust, should be no problem at all for you. If you live in the rusty areas and you're just working on your garage, wherever, probably not for the faint of heart, but if you're persistent and keep at it, and you just keep trying, I'm sure you get it. I hope I get it. I hope I get this done. So this is the end of the first day. Trying to get it done in 2 more days, maybe 3 if I have to. This is where I'm going to end this for today. Hope you guys enjoy it. Some of the times when I'm really working on stuff, I just get the camera out of there because it's going to be like hours of footage that I have to go through for one thing, and it's not worth it. So I'll just tell you about it in the end. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe, follow along with this build. This Avalanche is going to look awesome when it's all done. It's going to take a little bit of work to get there. So make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you like it. I think that's about it for this video, guys. We'll see you in the next one.